3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
If we jump to Colin Mitchell
Yeah, for sure.
instead, and then maybe give Lubna another quick go because she has to go at some point.
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
I don't have to go. It's just my son's going to come and go over to stay tonight with his girlfriend, and they don't know I do stand up. So I think I've gone to a book club. So oops.
Wow,
Oops.
that's brilliant. Okay, all right.
Well, I
Colin,
better
would
make
you
this quick then.
go for it?
Right, can you all hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Right. Okay. I thought I'd rattle off a few poems to you tonight. A mixture of all sorts of things. Some serious, one or two maybe funny, and one with a certain event in mind. A trip to the shops. It's cold outside, but the fridge is bare. So something must be done. Some milk and meat and eggs as well. This won't be too much fun. There's all this white stuff on the ground. I see it everywhere. Yet soldier on, I fear I must, and I've no shoes to wear. The old familiar signs I knew have vanished neath this sheet. The ground is white and pristine, flat. No shape to mark the street. I have to fight a strong desire to play in all this snow. Just do your job, I tell myself. There's still a way to go. No shoes upon my freezing feet. No coat upon my back. My nose is growing icicles, but I must keep on the track. Without me, this old man behind would still be stuck inside and waiting on a friendly face, someone to be his guide. So harnessed up, I lead the way and suffer this sharp chill to share this freezing moment so that he meets no ill. I know he'll get me something nice for bringing him down here, then snuggle up before the fire. I know he holds me dear. We're like a married couple now, and have been for some years. He feeds and shelters me, and I help him to face his fears. We guide dogs are so much more than some folks seem to think. A partnership like an iron chain, its strength in every link. Thank you. Something a little bit lighter now. A dreamer. I felt myself yawning near 1 in the morning. My poor aching body was broke. I lay till the dawning, its bright light was spawning. Then my eyes their veils did uncloak. For I had been sleeping when daylight came creeping and shattered the dream I had dreamt. Through waves I'd been leaping as the sea came up creeping, and smiling I felt so content. The birds were all singing and soft sun was clinging where hot baking sun could not reach. A church bell was ringing, my sweetheart was bringing a picnic to have on the beach. She looked so beguiling, just standing and smiling, but as into her arms I went, the night reconciling with sun, sky defiling, the dream ended, suddenly spent. Those of you who know me know that I've written some poetry about both world wars and conflict in general. And this is one that I've dredged up just for you tonight. Some of you may have heard it. I don't know. I don't think I've done it before. It's called A Place of Safety. A mother always wants to have a safe place for their child, somewhere near where she can be their refuge against the wild. But there are times when this desire just simply cannot be. The only place for them to go is somewhere she can't see. It's May of 1940 and a threat hangs in the air of bombing raids on London town, no place for children fair. Although this decision's voluntary, what choice can she now make? Keep them near and danger face? Let them the next train take? The heart-wrenching decision could part them for many years, but down the road she walks with them, each face is streaked with tears. So many children and mothers too. The train is waiting there, ripping families apart, breaking hearts that really care. Not only has she lost her man when duty called for him to leave and join them overseas, her future looks so dim, and now to have to say goodbye to all that she has left. She'll have to face the empty home of happiness bereft. How long this separation lasts, she really can't be sure. No matter the time, they'll always be in her heart forevermore. The children all aboard the train through windows sadly gaze, some wondering why this has to be, their heads all in a daze. A blast upon a whistle screams, and tears well up again. She watches as her little ones go, disappearing on the train. Pointless running after them, she waves with all the rest. This tragic parting, searing pain, is it really for the best? That night, her sacrifice was seen for everything it was. She'd sent them all to safety, and just in time, because a bomb demolished half the street. Her soldier lost his wife. Her children lost the mother who had given them her life. Thank you. Excuse me a second.
Very nice, Colin.
You really didn't want to hear that. Another love of mine is nature. And when we hit the lockdown last year and people realized they couldn't do the London Marathon, a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon of doing the 26 challenge or the 2.6 challenge. I decided to write 26 poems about nature in 26 days, and then realized that the deadline was 5 days away. However, my wife, in her infinite wisdom, decided that there's 26 letters of the alphabet. You could do one for each one. I thought, fine. So this is eagle. High up in an azure sky, on soaring thermals glide, a mighty hunting bird of prey, majestic, eagle-eyed. This master flies and keeps a watch on creatures down below, looking for a tasty meal where streams of water flow. For there are chicks he has to feed, in eyrie made of twigs, a solid platform in a tree entwined with holding sprigs. A movement on the grassy bank catches his attention. A rabbit would be feast enough to take it his intention. Checks the wind, but never takes his eye from heedless prey, then drops like stone in headlong swoop. No time for a delay. He dives at 90 miles an hour and plummets to the ground, snatches it before it takes evasive leap or bound. Wings drive hard to lift himself and captured prey aloft. Return to nest and waiting chicks, he lands with gentle waft. His mate returns from her own flight, the family complete. The meal devoured as darkness falls. They settle down, replete. Thank you. Those are sights we would love to see. But another side of nature is something we can't see because it is underground. Underground, there is a world of creatures we don't see, like worms and grubs and other things, some smaller than a flea. They eke out their existence in the soil where food is found, that only they find goodness in. They're out of sight and sound. This subterranean fauna are sometimes pests, like moles, and some no bigger than a mouse, the tiny little voles. But out, away from where we live, are animals who too dig out a burrow underground to sleep the daytime through. The foxes, badgers rise at night and hunt to find their food. They take it back to burrow safe where they cannot be viewed. The fox within his earth is snug, and in the badger's set, all is so calm and quiet there, away from fearful threat. So though we cannot see this world, we know that it exists. Below the ground, not troubled by the blazing sun or mists. Thank you. And finally, You'll know from my accent I'm not a Scot. However, there is an event coming up tomorrow. I don't know if you've actually noticed this in the background. Have I pointed it out a few times? Livingston are playing St Johnstone tomorrow in the Betfred League Cup final. I've been a Livingston supporter for 20 odd years now. And I couldn't do tonight without saying something about the game. This is an attempt at Scots, so it might not quite ring nicely on the ears, but forgive me. It's called "'Twas the Eve of the Final." It's based on another poem. You might guess it shortly. "'Twas the eve of the final, and all through the house Nathan was stirring, set me all jealous. I wasna for sleeping and pace at the flare. My mind was just teeming with thoughts of a sair. What if the morn didn't gae as I'd hoped? What if the Lions were unable to cope with the pressure of playing in a grand final game? And then, worst of all, fell just short of the aim. I paced and I paced frae the kitchen to loo, and then back again, but what could I do? I fell to my knees like I'd never afore, and begged to his lordship to help Lions roar. Say at 4 in the morning, I went to my bed, and lay down to rest my poor burling head. But still without sleeping, I rose up yinst me repeated a pacing round my bedroom flare. So now it's midday, and I've no slept a wink. It starts in 2 hours, I daren't even blink, for fear that the sleep I've been craving to catch will take me at last, and I'll miss the match. Thank you. And with that, I'll hand it back to you, Chris. In the
Got to
studio.
hear some Scottish accent there. That was
I've
That's
been
good.
working on it a wee while. I've been up here since
Oh.
76.
sounds good.
Thank you.
Very nice. Very good, Colin. Brilliant.